Hello, I am Kaja, and I'm going to read you a book. Are you ready? Yay! Let's do this. The picnic. In the summer, Henry and his big dog, Mudge, like to go on picnics. Henry packed the foods. He packed jelly sandwiches, pears, and ginger snaps for himself. And he picked the dry dog foods and popcorn for Mudge. And they both drank water. One Sunday, they went to the park for a picnic. Henry put all the foods on the picnic table, while Mudge chased some ants under a tree. Mudge was so big, and his tail went whack every time he ran around the tree. Whack, 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 whack. Henry laughed at him. Soon they began eating. Henry chewed his jelly sandwiches while he threw a piece of popcorn into Mudge's mouth. Mudge always liked dessert on picnic. While they were eating, a yellow bee landed on Henry's pear. Henry didn't see the bee. Henry picked up a pear. Ow! Henry cried. Mudge jumped. The bee flew away. Ow! 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 Henry cried. He shook his hands again and again and again. But his hand hurt more and more, and hurt a lot. Tears came to Henry's eyes. His hand hurt so much, and it had a puffy white circle on it. Henry just had to cry. He sat down beside Mudge. He held on to his hurting hand and cried. Mudge sniffed Henry's hair. Mudge sniffed Henry's hand. Mudge put his big nose in Henry's ear, but Henry kept crying. And Mudge licked Henry's face. Mudge liked to taste. It was salty. Yuck. So Mudge licked Henry's face again, and again. Every tear that Henry cried, Mudge licked away. Henry cried, Mudge licked, and the hand hurt. But in a while, the hand stopped hurting. Henry stopped crying, and Mudge stopped licking. Henry looked at Mudge and smiled. Henry picked up a ginger snap. He took one bite and gave Mudge the rest. Thanks, said Henry. Mudge wagged his tail and waited for another cookie. The bath. One hot day, Henry liked to give Mudge a bath. Henry liked it because he could play with the water hose and because he could cool off. Mudge hated. Mudge knew when he was going to get a bath. He would see Henry looking for the dog shampoo. And when he saw Henry hooking up the water hose, he tried to hide under the steps. But it never worked. would take Mudge into the front yard in the sun, and he would hose him down. Mudge hated. His eyes drooped, his ear drooped, and his tail drooped. When he was all wet, he looked like a big walrus. Look at this big walrus. Henry laughed at him. Then Henry would soap on him up. Henry scrubbed his hand and his neck and his back and his chest and his stomach and his legs and his tail. Mudge really hated this part. He drooped even more. Look at that soapy dog. Then Henry hosed Mudge down again. But before Henry could grab a towel, before Henry could get Mudge dry, Mudge always got Henry back. Because when Henry let go, Mudge started to shake. He started with his head, then he shook his neck and his back and his chest and his stomach and his legs and his tail. Look.
He's shaking.
He's shaking all the waters. Mudge shook so hot, and when he was done, he was mostly dry, and Henry was mostly wet. Wet
Henry.
Wet boy.
Wet boy.
Wet boy. Red boy. Wet boy.
Wet boy.
Red boy. Blue boy.
No.
The Mudge looked at Henry and wagged his tail while Henry dried Henry with the towel. The green towel. Beside Henry's house was a big green hill. Late on summer days, Henry and Mudge went to the top of the green hill. Dragon Mudge. They looked down. They saw Henry's white house and saw Henry's blue bike. Then they saw Henry's wooden swing. On top of the green hill, Henry felt big. He felt like a king. He saw things below him, and he felt very big. I am king of the green hill, Henry said. He looked at Mudge. You are my dragon. Mudge wagged his tail. Your name, Henry said, is Fireball. Mudge wagged again. And you are very scary. And he said, Mudge wagged some more. Henry and Mudge marched all over the top of the green hill. They meet other kings who had dragons. They chased them away. They meet monsters. Mudge ate them. What monsters? Oh, the bugs and the leaves. And Spider? Spider had poison. Maybe he was dead. I think he didn't eat the poison bugs. I think he ate normal bugs, like ants, not a red one. Red ants had poison in their mouth.
Their mouth?
They spit out the poison, and the big one would be dead.
When ants bite someone?
Yes. They met monsters. Mudge ate them. They marched and marched till they could march no more. Then they found a magic tree on a green hill. It was a tree for king and dragons who were tired. Henry and Mudge sat down under the tree. Henry put his arm around Mudge. They were glad for a magic tree. They closed their eyes. And the boy and the dog slept together on the green hill in the green time. So, is it fun? Please subscribe this, okay?
Okay.
Next time I will read you more fun book.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. See you.
See you next time.